Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Dimples on Demand. In this video, I am going to talk about my highest paying batches. Now, the question that I get most often is, how do you get such high paying batches? So we're going to go through some of my high paying batches and I'll break it down to you and what my logic is as to why I even take the batches. So stay tuned. So as you guys know, I have been with Instacart since 2017. And in 2017, I tried it for a month and I did not like it at all. I didn't think it was worth my time or the effort that I was putting into it. Now we fast forward to 2020, February, when I decided to give it another shot. And the initial first order that I picked up, it wasn't a high-paying batch, but I did it anyway just because I wanted to get back in the swing of things. Now, my first high-paying batch on Instacart, I made $82.70. And this was right around the time where, things were getting serious as far as the health crisis that we're in right now. So it was a pickup from Aldi's. It was 58 items, 91 units. The distance was 14 miles. Now, granted, I was living in Brooklyn and I was quite stubborn. And I was just like, I'm not doing anything over 2 miles, maybe 3 miles. I was really, I was being a little brat when it came to the distance. And the drop off was going downtown Brooklyn. Now, for those of you who do not know downtown Brooklyn, it can be a headache to find parking and the traffic and just so many factors came to my mind when I was picking up this order. But I was like, I've never seen an order for $82. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to give it a shot. And it was for one customer. And like I said, it was from Aldi's. But if you know Aldi's, there's nothing to the store. There's like 4 aisles and you're done. You can be in and out of that store in no time. And I used to work at Aldi's for, I think I worked there for a day, a day and a half. So I knew the store, plus I shopped there. So I took the order and that was like the catalyst to me seeing the potential in Instacart and realizing how much money I can actually make. The next order that I received that was a high paying batch. I keep saying order batch. You guys know what I mean. Let's look at this one. This was from Costco. It was paying $90.90. 32 items, 47 units, 8.3 miles. Now again, I was stubborn and I was like, I couldn't see. So everybody was telling me to try Costco. And I was like, I can't try something that's not available. For some reason, I just was not able to see Costco orders from where I was living in Brooklyn. But I work not too far from Costco. So one day I was at work and I got an alert. And suddenly that's when I started to see the Costco orders. Now, granted, I feel like Costco it's a beast within itself. And you really have to prepare yourself mentally to step into a store like Costco because it's bulk items. It's always crowded no matter what time, no matter what day. There is never a moment where Costco is empty. So like I said, it was 32 items, 47 units, but I was able to get it done. It took me some time, and I say that because I do not shop at Costco, or I did not shop at Costco. I still don't shop at Costco. I don't have a membership, but again, this was another high-paying batch. This one here was also from Costco, and this was a 2-person batch. Now, I was a while back, I was like, I'm not taking double orders. It's too much to juggle taking double orders, and I went on and on and on about taking double orders. But then based on the comments that I was receiving, I said, you know what, I'm gonna take a double. Let me just try it. And this specific order, It was 14 items, 53 units. I have no clue what this order contained. I cannot remember at this point. But the good thing about this order was, if you look, the customers were so close to Costco. One customer was 0.7 miles and the other one was 1.7 miles. So not a bad order at all. Definitely worth it. So, this was me getting comfortable going to Costco. This order was one from a supermarket called Fairway, also in Brooklyn. Now, Fairway is not an easy store. It's one of those specialty stores that has everything organic. I mean, the gluten-free, those kind of stores. Trust me, I'm not a fan of Fairway, but I saw this order come up, $97.27. And it took me a while to do this order. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It took me some time because I do not know that store at all. Plus, it's 88 items, 132 units. So I remember doing this order, and I remember being in the store forever. You hear me? Forever. And this was the height of, when things just were crazy. The shelves were empty. But thank goodness that I had a customer that was responsive somewhat. And even though it took me a long time, I was still proud of the fact that I was able to make this $97.27. And here is a Costco order, $87.13. It's a double batch, 36 items, 40 units from Costco. When you go into Costco, you just have to prepare yourself mentally for the lines, for the not so nice associates. And I'm not saying all of them are not nice, but people have bad days. And yeah, the distance wasn't that far. One customer was 5.3 miles, the other one was 1.2 miles. So again, can't remember what was in the order, but it was a good payout. This one was a pickup from ShopRite in Brooklyn on McDonald Avenue, and it was 74 items, 114 units, but the customer lives 0.7 miles away. So in my opinion, 114 total units, it's a lot, but it was 74 items. So of course, there are multiples of items. The reason why I took the order is because the customer lived just a few blocks away, and it was only one customer. So I kind of try to, talk myself through and say, okay, is this really worth it? Because not all high paying batches, in my opinion, are worth it. And then of course it depends on the weather, it depends on the day, it depends on my mood. I might do one order on this day and then completely change my mind about that order if it pops up again on the next day. So this specific order from ShopRite, yes, it had a lot of items, but the distance is really what sealed the deal for me. Here is a pickup from there. You had to wait online to get into the store for all the BJs except for this one, which is on Bay Parkway. This one, you showed your phone and you were able to skip the line. The same with Costco. You can show your phone, you're able to skip the line. And Costco actually had a special entrance for Instacart shoppers to come through. So that was the reason why I was like, The line to get into BJ's, it was a minimum of an hour. But this specific BJ's, you did not have to wait online. You just showed your phone, which was great. And this was not a bad order at all. 34 items, 35 units. The customer lived 4.1 miles, and it was literally one customer. So I remember this like it was yesterday. Very nice individuals. They communicated well, and the order wasn't bad. And actually, that was my last big order in Brooklyn. So I ended up moving to New Jersey, as you guys know, and that was my farewell order. Because then I came to Jersey, and I was worried when I came to Jersey because I'm like, am I going to be able to make the same amount of money that I was making in Brooklyn doing these gigs. And for, I want to say for maybe a week, I was not doing any orders when I first moved here. And I think 2 days, I actually drove back to Brooklyn to do orders because I just was not familiar with the new area where I was. I was nervous, and I was just like, you know what? I know Brooklyn is a sure thing. I can make money over there, and I was willing to drive all the way over there and pay the toll to get there. Do I regret doing that for those 2 days? No. But it didn't take long for me to realize, like, no, girl, you have to make it where you are. So that last order was the last one from Brooklyn. And then once I came to New Jersey, I was like, okay, I'll just see. Let me see how the orders are looking. And sure enough, I was still able to get high paying batches as well. Now, my stubbornness where I was like, it depends on the miles. And it still depends on the miles when I pick up batches. But I had to get out of that 2 mile, 3 mile way of thinking because there's no way. Some orders, yes, you can keep them under 3 miles, under 5 miles. But then some orders are going to be 7 miles because Jersey is not Brooklyn, right? So, I realized, okay, I can make the money here. I just had to get familiar with the stores, of course. So I learned the stores, and now I'm able to zip in and out of some of these stores like nothing, to be honest. This order here is from King's, which is a supermarket that I frequent very, very often. And it wasn't a bad order. 41 items, 65 units, 2 customers, and the total mileage was 6.6 miles. So not bad at all. Here's another one from King's. To me, this is an ideal order. It was paying $85.43. 29 items, 60 units. The customer was 2.6 miles. That order right there is like gold because you're not picking up that many things and you're not even going far. So no brainer right there. Here's another one for $68.69. As you can see, it's King's. I'm going to King's. Here's a Costco order for $69.02. Again, the distance wasn't bad. 38 items, 41 units. Here's one from Acme, which is I guess it's my second most frequented store is Acme. This one was a bit of a distance. It was 9.1 miles, which is different for me, but one customer, not that many items. So in my mind, it was worth it for sure. One from King's, $68.47. Now, I want you to look at this order. 45 items, 56 units. I remember this order. It was someone that I delivered to with Shipt, but she decided to use Instacart for this order. She lived 4.4 miles away. And I remember just really communicating with her, sending her messages, updates, pictures, just to keep her in the loop as to what was going on in the store. And as you can see, she increased her tip from $17.76 to $53.38, which brought me to $68.47. I can go on and on talking about these orders. Here's one for $63.27 from Costco. One customer, 26 items, 32 units, 2.7 miles. Ideal order. I feel like the orders that have one customer, low mileage, low units or items, they're just great. Here's one from Acme, $78.81, 46 items, 92 units. Now let's compare picking up from a wholesale store versus a regular supermarket. It depends on the items. Because Costco has cases and cases of water and cases of soda and milk and oil and these big bulky items. It really just depends on what the order contains, because yes, it is more items that you're picking up from a regular supermarket, but to me you can finish faster. It just depends. Nothing is set in stone. Here is a $86 order from Costco. 52 items, 52 units. Now this one was a lot. I remember it. It was a lot, but again, it was one customer and she communicated throughout the whole order. Here's one from King's, $77.85, 43 items, 65 units, 4.6 miles. Here's Acme, $64.25, 39 items, 68 units, 1.74 miles. And again, from King's, $70.80. Now here's the biggest order that I have ever had doing any gig. This was recent. It was about 2.5, at this point, 3 weeks ago. 118 items, 160 units, 4.2 miles. This was like, it was the order of all orders for me. I've never I've personally have never seen such a large order just sitting there on the screen. So as soon as I saw it, I swiped. I didn't care what was in it. This is one order where I was like, I don't care if there's water, I don't care if there's heavy items, I was taking it. But I know from King's, like, yes, that we have cases of water there, but it wasn't going to be anything that I could not handle. So I shopped this order with glee. You hear me? I was so happy to get this order. And then at the same time, so worried. And like, you know, you can get tip bait on Instacart. And I was like, I hope she's going to take the tip away. And I communicated with her. She answered. Overall, it was a great order. And I can say greatest of all time for me. I ended up making $236.63. Amazing. Now this is my second highest paying batch. It was actually from the exact same customer that the order that I had that paid me $234. This was the same customer. She ordered 2.5 weeks later and she tipped well. So after seeing that, I'm just like, oh, this is just how they pay. This is what she tips. She's a good tipper, period. She doesn't want to do the shopping herself, and she will tip whoever has to do it. So again, it was a pleasure shopping for her because do you see the payout? Yes, you do. Very easy, very, very easy, and I'm happy. Now, I know you're wondering, what was the point of showing us all these screenshots and not giving us any clue as to how you're getting these orders? All I can say is there's really no strategy to picking these orders or seeing these orders. I was a 5-star rating for a long time, up until about a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, where I dropped down to 4.98. Now, I really was worried that I wouldn't be able to receive high paying batches, but I'm still able to see them. What I can say as a tip is know your area, know your market. So yes, I was making good money in Brooklyn, but I noticed where I am now, the market that I'm in New Jersey, the payouts are just more. The payouts are more because the neighborhoods are different. The people, I guess they view money just a little differently, and they are willing to pay and tip to not have to do the job themselves. So yes, people are willing to just pay a little more. And what I have noticed as well is know the store that you're shopping at. So my favorite store right now is King's. King's is a specialty store. Things are expensive for no reason, in my opinion, there. Everything costs a little more. The people that shop at this specific store, they want organic, they want gluten-free, they want all these special things imported, you know what I mean? So they care about the nutrition that they're intaking, and they are willing to pay for it, right? So, which leads me to believe that they will tip more because I don't know how to explain it, but they are willing to pay for more expensive food, so they are more than likely willing to tip you. Now, none of this is set in stone. I don't have the answers for everything, but this is just me observing what people are willing to pay and tip. Like, you could kind of feel your customers out. In my opinion, aside from that very first Aldi's order that I had that paid a lot of money, I have yet to see another Aldi's order where your payout is in the hundreds, the 80s, the 90s, 70s, nothing. It's usually like $20, maybe $30, but you're picking up a bunch of items. So if we could compare both supermarkets, the specialty stores such as King's, people will pay more. You will be tipped more. This is not the case all the time. So yes, like I said, know your areas. I think that you will receive higher payouts from those specialty stores. Know the neighborhood that you're dealing with, and yeah, just factor in what makes sense to you. What makes sense to me in Jersey is not going to make sense to you wherever you are. And I kind of have to remind myself of that, because I'm like, why would anyone take an order like this? But in some areas, the highest that you might see is $20, $30. The norm is probably in the teens. So do what makes sense to you, what is relative to you, and maintain a good rating. Know your areas, like I said. Be polite, great customer service, and just put your best foot forward. At the end of the day, really and truly, none of this is in our controls. If I can see a $200 and something order, other people can see it too. You have to be fast with swiping, and just, you hope for the best. There are plenty of times where I see orders that are in the hundreds that I swipe for and I don't get. And that's just the way it is. I don't beat myself up about it. I already know that I can get something just as good later, the next day. It doesn't matter. What I can say is that at least a few times a week, sometimes several times a day, I see high paying batches. Again, that's just the area and the market that I'm in. I think that's it. That's all the tips that I have. While editing this video, I almost forgot to mention one of the most important things I believe that has helped me get high paying batches. I forgot to mention that I think that a lot of the higher paying batches come earlier in the morning. So first thing in the morning, or more towards the morning, is when you can see higher paying batches. So try to get on the apps early, because a lot of people want to get their shopping done and out the way. Also recognize when specific stores' orders come into the Instacart app. Know what time you will generally see the Costco orders or the ShopRite orders or whatever it is. See when they're going to drop is what I say. And yeah, get out there early. Do the best you can. But don't be fooled. I have gotten $90 orders, $100 and something orders in the late afternoon. So it all depends. Like I said before, there is no handbook to this. We learn and go, you know what I mean, as we go. So yeah, I wanted to add this piece in before I closed out the video. There's no tricks here. There's no secrets. I look, if it's there, I swipe and hope that I get it. I really don't have any secret tricks for you guys. But yep, I just wanted to show you some of the highest paying batches that I've received and my logic as to how I'm getting them, why I'm getting them. I don't know. But yes. So that is it for this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below. And I want to thank you guys for coming to this very short video, just to talk about what I'm able to make here in my market. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.